afternoon. I'm Michaela Miller with the Wednesday edition of the Our City COVID-19 News Show. Last night, President Cyril Ramaphosa announced that churches, synagogues, mosques, temples and other recognized places of worship would reopen from the 1st of June under strict level 3 regulation rules with only 50 people allowed per service. Many citizens have shared conflicting opinions on social media, with Stephanie Pitt will touch on later in the show. Meanwhile, the National Coronavirus Command Council and social cluster media briefings that were supposed to be taking place today have been postponed. A new date will be announced soon. These are your headlines. The Western Cape Department of Education prepares for the reopening of schools next week. We spoke to MEC Debbie Schaefer. As this is a difficult time for community media, the Media Development and Diversity Agency continues to help the sector. Coronavirus cases are accelerating in Africa. We look at the concerns some pregnant women across the continent. It is day 62 of the lockdown and the current number of confirmed number of COVID-19 cases nationally stands at 24,264 with 12,741 recoveries and 524 deaths. The Western Cape has 15,756 confirmed COVID-19 cases, 7,844 recoveries and 357 deaths. Western Cape Premier Alan Winde wants clarity from President Cyril Ramaphosa following yesterday's National Council of Provinces presentation. During the presentation, Health Minister Zweli Mkhize indicated that some hotspots could remain on level 4 of the lockdown come the 1st of June. Winde said it was clear in Ramaphosa's address at the weekend that the entire country would move to level 3, with hotspots being evaluated every 2 weeks. Winde said the province had not received a direct indication from the national government that would not be the case. The Western Cape Education Department has confirmed a new case of COVID-19 at the Sinatemba High School in Philippi, but spokesperson Brunak Hamid could not comment on reports that at least 12 other schools from Ocean View to Bonteheuwel had confirmed coronavirus cases. She said the department was investigating. 2 schools were closed earlier this week after teachers tested positive. Teachers returned to schools on a Monday, while grade 7s and 12 learners will return next week. Staying with the Western Cape Education Department, our reporter Octavian Dlovu spoke to Education MEC Debbie Schaefer about the provincial government's progress in ensuring all schools will be ready to receive grade 7s and grade 12s on the 1st of June.
Today we are joined by the MEC of Education, Debbie Schaefer, who will just give us more insights in terms of preparation this week for schools that will be reopening for grade 12s and grade 7s in the Western Cape from the 1st of June. Welcome, MEC. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you. Very much glad to be with you.
MEC, can you please just tell us on the progress that has been made so far in terms of just sanitizing the schools and just making them ready, for assuring parents as well that they will be ready to receive their children in schools next week?
Yes, sure. We've been busy for the last 2 weeks already, getting schools cleaned and materials delivered. The vast majority of sanitizers and cleaning materials have been delivered already. Those that have yet been will be during the course of this week. Have procured 2 cloth masks for every child in every concerned province. Maybe we're not going to be delivering the whole lot once, we're delivering the ones that are needed now, teachers this week, and by tomorrow, the masks for the learners who are coming back next week will be delivered. So that's been done. Cleaners have been to school, and principals have been back on SMT since last week already, putting plans in place to ensure that they're ready to receive learners, putting in place their plans for distancing and screening and so on. We also, as a department, have put together a number of detailed information circulars that can be found on the WCD website under the opening pack as well, which deal with a lot of the issues such as screening, such as what to do if there's a case of and so on.
Minister, can you just tell us other concerns in terms of what are the concerns from the department that you guys have that may arise when you reopen schools?
We obviously, people are very anxious at the moment, and we understand that completely. Everyone's really, it's a very strange environment to be operating in, and to have to operate a school where children aren't allowed to act normally and teachers. You can't go back and hug your colleagues after not seeing them for 2 months. It's very difficult. So it's not going to be an easy environment, and there will be emotional strain, but I really hope that once things settle down, it will dissipate. If there are issues at any individual schools, then people must report them to us. But our information is showing that we're well on to proceed next week, and that we should be able to go ahead in the vast majority of all schools and do so safely.
All right, and in terms of that with teachers, I know that the South African Democratic for Teachers Unions have been calling teachers not to go to work this week in preparation for next week. Has that matter been resolved with the unions? Well, let's just speak on the Western Cape.
Well, we're not really sure whether it's been resolved because we've had regular contact with them. Our HOD has weekly meetings with them, and the last report that I had from him was that most of the issues seem to have been, they were quite happy. There were 1 or 2 issues of concern, but overall we agree with many of the issues that they've raised, and we've done a lot of them. Some of them are just so unreasonable, such as they keep talking about deep cleaning schools, which is not necessary because we've had information from the authority that if schools have vacant 7 weeks, it's not necessary. The virus doesn't last longer than 72 hours. So issues like that we aren't going to resolve. We think we have agreement, and then suddenly there's a statement put out that's something different. So we're really trying to engage with the unions. There are some genuine anxiety and concerns, and we are trying to address those issues as we can, because we actually do care for our teachers very much and our learners, and want to make sure that our environment is safe.
My last question to you, there are some parents who are resisting for their children to go back to school and want to do homeschooling for them. So how do parents go about that? What is the process for them to teach their kids at home?
We have said that if any child has what's recognized comorbidity, that is recognized by the health department, that they will be allowed to keep their child home if they wish, on condition that they sign a form confirming that they will do that, and undertaking the responsibility to ensure that their child gets the work from the school and does it. There's still a bit of uncertainty regarding other children who parents want to keep home, and we're trying to resolve that with the DBE. At the moment, if you want to do a proper homeschooling, you do register with the department for that and comply with certain conditions. But we are having ongoing discussions with DBE as to whether they may be an interim arrangement in the current circumstances.
Minister, thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. You've just given us more insight, and I hope parents, as well as other shareholders or stakeholders that are within this matter, are more relaxed, not more relaxed, but more aware, and at least their concerns have been addressed.
Thank you so much. We have to work together. It's a team effort. None of us can do anything on our own, but if we all work together, I really believe that we can overcome this, and that we can ensure that the environment is safe for everybody as far as we possibly can next year.
Okay, there we have it. It was MEC of Education, Debbie Schaefer, addressing some of the concerns that unions and parents had in terms of releasing their kids back to school. I hope some of your concerns were addressed, and if not, you may send us questions on our Facebook page, and we will make sure that she answers them. Well, that was it from me. Back to you in studio, Michaela.
An employee screening program is now in place at Checkers in Muizenberg following a positive COVID-19 case at the store. The Shoprite Group said a professional decontamination company would deep clean and sanitize the store. Checkers Zevenwacht in Kuils River was also closed over the weekend. The Western Cape Health Department will indicate when the Muizenberg store can reopen. We just take in a short break, but when we come back, we will be looking at media development and diversity agency and some stories from Africa. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Channel 263 on DSTV on the Tuesday edition of the Our City COVID-19 show on Cape Town TV. Understanding that community media would experience difficulties due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Media Development and Diversity Agency moved swiftly to help the sector. Helga Jansen Dauber spoke to its CEO, Zukiswa Potse, about the MDDA is assisting community media.
I'm with CEO of the Media Development and Diversity Agency, Ms. Zukiswa Potwa. A warm welcome to you, Ms. Potwa, from a very chilly Cape Town to a very chilly Pretoria.
Morning, Helga. Thank you very much for having me. It's also a chilly day in Johannesburg, in Gauteng, and I think it is you people from the Western Cape that have passed on the cold front throughout the country.
I know we know these days for passing on many things.
Let's not go there, eh?
Exactly. Ms. Potwa, the Media Development and Diversity Agency, please explain to our viewers what is this agency?
The Media Development and Diversity Agency, MDDA, as it is affectionately known, is an agency of the state. It was created or established in 2002 through an act of parliament, and it was as a result of a march cry from South Africans, the civil society, government and people of South Africa concerned about the freedoms that are enshrined in the Constitution, the freedom of press, and more so access to information. So it was formed as in partnership between major broadcasters, major commercial print, and government. And it is an entity that ensures that there's access to information, but not only access to information, but more so by people of South Africa in the languages they speak and understand. MDDA also ensures through grant funding and startup funding that there's ownership and control of the media by previously disadvantaged groups. And so we work to promote indigenous languages. And of course, I can't emphasize enough the insurance of media freedoms and diversity of news and plurality of the voices. That's basically what we do as the MDDA. And as I've said, we do it through funding largely and training, capacity building, and so forth.
So, Ms. Potwa, the agency is an important entity within our media freedom landscape and within the promotion of media in South Africa. But of course, we are living through an historic moment, an untested moment. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected media in South Africa?
It has indeed affected the media in all respects. First, I think the sustainability, especially of the media and more so of the community media, has been tested big time during this time. So it has been affected. And also we have seen pockets of the police handling the media or journalists covering the news on pandemic in a way that we would say as the MDDA is not accepted because I think the media freedom or press freedom is enshrined on the Constitution of this country. So we have seen those things. But in terms of just financial sustainability, and that the community media and small community media's ability or inability to do their work because they have lost much revenue during the lockdown and because of the pandemic. We have then, as the MDDA, seen the need to establish an MDDA emergency relief fund. We disbursed the first time in April, and on the 21st, which is 2 days ago, we launched a second phase of the emergency relief fund, just to make sure that the community media and small commercial media are still able to discharge their mandate, because it is more important now than ever.
So, Ms. Potwa, before we end the interview, we're going to ask you to share some of those details with how community media in particular and small community agencies can get in touch with the MDDA should they require additional funding or support. But for now, the question I wanted to ask you was, we have a whole landscape that regulates and that supports press freedom in this country. But what is the responsibility of media, in your opinion, in this moment? Balancing speaking the truth versus not spreading fake or unverified news, particularly in the science realm. What's your view on that?
All right. Part of our obligation is to ensure that the community media and the small commercial media understand how to report. So in terms of capacity building, we provide them with such training that's needed, and also for them, if they are going to be quoting stories from the mainstream media, they should be able to distinguish between what is fake news and what is valid news. So we do provide them with training on how to check facts, and more so, we rely on them to ensure that the correct, accurate, and up-to-date information is passed on to the communities, particularly around this time where we're facing an unknown and an unseen enemy called the COVID-19, where the community media and media at large, it has got an obligation and a mandate and a responsibility to report factually and accurately, so that people of South Africa are aware of the pandemic, but not only aware, but that they also able to prevent and to try and stay safe, and prevent themselves from getting infected by the pandemic.
Thank you for that, Ms. Potwa. Before we close, I just wanted to check in with you. The media, of course, maybe you can just give us some information around what the regulation is for media. Are they considered an essential service, and what are the statutory information and permissions that they would require to continue their work? Will they get permits, etc.?
Yes, certainly. In fact, even in level 5, and throughout the levels, the media is considered essential. And the reason for that, again, is because of the constitution that actually stipulates that the access to information is actually a right. And so the media freedoms are actually enshrined in the constitution. So throughout these announcements by government on the different levels of the lockdown, the media has been an essential. However, there was a need, and there's still a need for media to carry their permits in order for themselves to be able to do their work. Initially, they were only allowed to report around their provinces, around their communities, so that we were again trying to flatten the curve and ensuring that we were not passing through the media, causing much infection across provinces. So they carry their permits, they are allowed to do their work. That is the reason why in the initial phase of the emergency relief of the MDDA, we saw the need to focus that phase on content generation. So we supported items like car hire, so that the journalists, the volunteers that work in community stations, community radio stations, are still able to go to work and are able to go generate content, much needed content around this time, so that the South African population is informed about what exactly is happening. But also so that they were able to track stories and levels of infections, and educate communities around where the community radio stations and small commercial media print are.
So, Ms. Potwa, There we have it, confirmation that the media is in fact an essential service. Before we let you go, just give us some detail about how community media, including radio stations, television stations, and small independent print outfits can access the support of the MDDA. Is there a website? Is there a telephone number?
Yes, there's a website. It's www.mdda.org.za. We also have got a helpline, which is relief.fund.qa@mdda.org.za. But what we've done is we have publicized, in fact, we created awareness around the launch of the second phase of the emergency relief by the MDDA from last week already. So I've been on many radio stations, including other national platforms like televisions. And we continue to create awareness around the launch and availability of this. It's again 10 million, like we had initially 10 million in the first phase. The 10 million is meant for both small commercial print and community broadcasters, and it's split in terms of 8 million and 2.5 million small commercial print and community print. And what we've also done is we worked, like we did initially in the first phase, we worked through the sector bodies, including the Association for Independent Publishers. We're working through the NCRF, which is the National Community Radio Forum, SACO, your South African Community Radio Association. So we're working through the sector bodies so that the information reaches the community media sector at large, not just people or projects on our database. And so that those sector bodies, we are also asking them to actually forward to their memberships the invitation to apply. And we did this in the initial stage. We are also doing this to ensure that the fund is communicated widely.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Potwa. Again, for community media outfits who are watching us, please go to the MDDA website, www.mdda.org.za, to find out more about the second wave of funding available to community media. Ms. Potwa, wishing you and your team all the best, being all safe where you are, and I'm sure we'll engage with MDDA as a community television station in the near future. Thank you.
Organizations and activist groups for women and children have expressed concern over the lifting of the lockdown ban on alcohol sales. Alcohol will be on sale again from Monday. Pelisa Abafazi Betu, activist Lucinda Evans, told IOL that the government had failed to consult NGOs working with families broken by alcohol-induced violence. The National Shelter Movement, Fisani Mshlangu, said research indicated alcohol directly affected cognitive and physical functioning, reduced self-control and left individuals less capable of negotiating a non-violent resolution to conflict within relationships. Excessive drinking by one partner could also increase financial difficulties in households, he said, especially during such a time when the world is facing a pandemic and incomes are severely affected. And now for some continental news. The following video, produced by Voice of America, is the story of a pregnant Tanzanian woman who shared her fears about contracting the deadly coronavirus. Let's take a look.
Hiki kipindi kinanitisha sana, kwamba naogopa sana siku ikifika ya kujifungua. Usalama wa mtoto wangu kiukweli nina mashaka sana. Na kitu kingine ambacho kinanipa wasiwasi mkubwa sana ni pale ninapotumia usafiri wa umma, kwa sababu sina uwezo wa kutumia usafiri wa peke yangu. Kwa hiyo inabidi nishie usafiri. Sasa huwezi jua kwenye usafiri umepanda na mtu wa aina gani, kwa sababu corona huwezi kumwangalia mtu kujua huyu ana corona. Kwa hiyo njia zipo nyingi sana ambazo zinanipa wasiwasi. Natamani hata saa nyingine nisihudhurie kliniki, lakini haiwezekani. Inabidi nihudhurie kliniki kwa ajili ya kujua maendeleo ya mtoto wangu. Siku niko nyumbani, nakumbuka bosi wangu alinitumia message na kuniomba kwamba nipumzike kipindi ambacho hili janga ndo lilikuwa limeingia. Kiukweli ilikuwa ni ngumu sana kupokea ile situation. nilijaribu kujenga urafiki, kuwa naye karibu ili nijue ni kweli amenisimamisha kazi kwa ajili ya ili janga au amenisimamisha kazi kutokana na hali yangu. Kwa hiyo ilibidi tu nimuelewe na nielewa kwamba alinisimamisha kazi kwa ajili ya hali iliyokuwa ikiendelea, hali ya corona. Kunachangia maisha yazidi kuwa magumu sana, hasa kwa hii hali, kwa sababu mimi na mume wangu ndio watu pekee ambao ni tegemezi la familia yangu. Akifanya yeye kazi, nikifanya mimi kazi, tunakula. Lakini sasa kwa hiki kipindi wote tumesimama kazi na tuna familia, watu inabidi wale, watoto inabidi waishi, na watoto wenyewe tulionao ni wadogo, ni ngumu mtoto kuelewa, mtoto anataka kula, tunaishi vipi? Kwa ni hali ambayo ni ngumu kiukweli, tuna hali ngumu sana. Save pesa, kwa sababu pesa tulizokuwa tumezisevu zote zimeisha kutokana na situation iliyopo. Lakini kwa upande wa chakula pia imebidi tubadilishe system ya ulaji. Kwa mfano, tulikuwa tunatumia chakula kilo 1, lakini imebidi tupunguze nusu ya kilo 1 ili tuendelee kujikimu na maisha, kwa sababu hatujui hili janga litaisha lini. Napenda sana kufanya kazi na misi sana kufanya kazi. Kazi ina mchango mkubwa sana katika familia yangu. Kazi ina mchango mkubwa sana katika maisha yangu na hali niliyokuwa nayo. Bila kuwa na kipato, siwezi kuendesha maisha yangu mimi pamoja na familia yangu. Kwa ni kitu ambacho kinanipa wasiwasi sana. Haswa wote tuko ndani. Kama kwa mfano linaisha mwakani, huu mwaka tunapata wapi pesa ya kula? Tunapata wapi pesa ya kuhudumia mtoto ambaye ni mtoto mtarajiwa? Baada ya watoto wangu kusimamishwa kwenda shule kwa ajili ya janga hili la corona, nashukuru Mungu, familia yangu pamoja na anko wao ambaye anaitwa Alexi alipanga ratiba kwa ajili ya watoto. Kuna muda ambao watoto wanapitia vitabu vya shule, kuna muda ambao wanajifunza neno la Mungu, kuna muda ambao wanaangalia TV, katuni, vipindi vya watoto, na kuna muda pia ambao tunakaa nao kwa ajili ya kuongea nao mawili matatu, kujifunza. Kuna kipindi labda nikiwa nimeshiba, nimekaa nimetulia, mtoto anakuwa anacheza. Sasa wakiona vile mtoto anacheza, yani wenyewe wamekuwa, yani kwao imekuwa ni faraja. Sasa yani muda wote utakuta wako karibu na mimi, wanashikashika tumbo, wanachezea tumbo, wanawishi sana wamuone ndugu yao. Kwa kweli sijutii kuwa na hali kama hii, wala sijutii chochote. Kikubwa ninamwomba Mungu, kesho yangu bado sijajua itakuwaje. Sijajua kutokana na hali yenyewe, sijui inaisha lini. Kwa bado naiwazia sana kesho yangu. Japokuwa natamani hii hali iishe ili niingie kupambana na maisha mengine yaendelee, ili tuweze kuzisaidia familia zetu.
That's all from the news front, but when we come back, Stephanie Pitt will share what's trending on Twitter today. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching the Our City COVID-19 show. I'm Stephanie Pitt. In light of the current pandemic faced by South Africa, the government has put in place various tiers of relief, such as the UIF social grant reliefs. This was an effort to bring aid to many vulnerable citizens who are finding it hard to make ends meet. In the following PSA, the Social African Security Agency shows how you can go about applying for social relief unemployment grant.
The Miss South African competition recently saw contestants such as Bianca Skumbi drop out after racist tweets she posted as a teenager surfaced. In light of this, Miss Universe Sozibini Tunzi posted a video on social media apologizing for any distasteful or offensive tweets she may have posted online and says people should also be held accountable for their actions.
The past 9 months as a public figure, I have made my voice very clear about the things that I stand for and the things that I feel are important in telling women to take up space, you know, to be empowered, to empower themselves and to use their voices not only for the betterment of themselves but for the betterment of others. And these words still ring true today to who I am. And so because of that, I felt it only right to come, make this video and to face this head on with you guys. And I realize, you know, we live in a society that is so desensitized when it comes to social issues. We live in a world where we have created spaces that make people comfortable to act a certain way, to be a certain way, and to say certain things. And it's not okay. That's not the right space to exist in. We need to be existing in a world where we start making people uncomfortable for sharing such thoughts, for thinking such things, and for thinking it's okay to say them. I hope that we can continue, you know, building that kind of world and just take responsibility as well for the things that we say and for the things that we do, and just that we should be careful of the things that we share, even if we think it's an offhand, you know, joke, because it's you know, some things just aren't funny and shouldn't be said. So I'm really hoping that we can be very mindful of the things that we say and the things that we share and the ripple effects that they might have on the world and on others. And I hope that we can continue to act responsibly in being solutions and not the problem. And so, yeah, once again, I just want to apologize from the bottom of my heart, and to everyone who had put me at a certain standard. I am so sorry to have disappointed. I hope that you can continue to look at me as somebody you can still take something from, somebody you can still learn from, and yeah, I really am sorry.
That's it for me. From Stephanie Pitt, that's all for me. Please stay with us. Michaela Miller will be giving important information on places of safety you can access on this period. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're still tuned into Our City, the COVID show on Cape Town TV, channel 263. For your latest news around the COVID-19 pandemic and to see what other Cape Townians are doing to keep safe, tune into Cape Town TV daily. These are some organizations helping communities stay safe during this period. We have now come to the end of the Wednesday edition of the Our City COVID-19 News Show, but we will continue to giving you latest news on what's happening in Cape Town on our Facebook page at Our City CT and on Twitter at Our City CT. You can also get in touch with us via email on ourcity@capetowntv.org or call us on 021 448 0448. From me, Michaela Miller, and the Our City News crew, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.